Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Market Buzz. Today we're here with Mimi from Australia. Nestor is snowboarding in Scotland. He's having a fun time, but he still wants to be live with us today. And we will have Dimitris joining in about 10 minutes. He's going to be a bit late. So, yeah, awesome to be here, even with Nestor. We're gonna talk about Microsoft. We're gonna talk about Meta, both showing earnings. We're gonna talk about what Jay Powell said yesterday because they didn't cut rates, and we're gonna talk about where we stand in the cycle with Bitcoin, gold, silver. There's a lot of rumors going around. There's a lot of theories. So we wanna just tackle each of them and yeah, make sure you're aligned with us. We just wanna brain dump some theories at you, and then you can invest with us. If you like the content, give us a like, subscribe, check our links in the bio where we trade live and transparent, so you can just follow us there. And yeah, if you have questions, let us know in the chat and we can discuss them. So okay, we're here with Nestor. Maybe Nestor, you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to another episode of Market Buzz. It's pouring snow here in Scotland. Let me tell you that much. That's something that doesn't happen every day. That's a piece of snow that fell on my camera, but hey, markets don't wait for no one. Markets don't wait for no one. You got to be ready everywhere you are. And yesterday was a fantastic day, and you can take advantage of this. So yes, welcome everybody.
Awesome.
Woo. Man, okay. So first things first. What do you guys want to do? Earnings, crypto.
Yeah, let's do
talk.
earnings. So let's do earnings. We had Microsoft, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. Massive beat due to FX mostly, but yesterday was an impressive move on Microsoft. It moved around what? $250 billion? It was pretty crazy. It was a pretty sizable move.
You mean it fell? Yeah.
Yeah, it dropped. Yeah. The market cap disappeared, right? And it was like a massive move.
What do you want to say?
Do you think, like, specifically, what I read was because of they were just spending a whole lot, which seems to be the common theme right now. But do you think it really warrants? The question is, does it really warrant that type of reaction?
No,
not at all. I really don't think so.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
It's pure emotional, and the AI narrative is just ongoing, and they're trying to shake you out because there's a bright future ahead of us with all the AI investments, and Microsoft is a big player with open with ChatGPT. How the company, I forgot the name, but they're big investors in OpenAI, yeah. And now we're seeing that it's really helping the company. The only struggle is a decline in cloud. So we know we have other players like Google, Amazon bidding for the same space. They're gonna lose some market share, which is normal, but earnings were terrific. I mean, these are the kind of drops that I love when a company shows great earnings, but the price drops for no reason. And yeah, I'm gonna be buying today, see where it's headed. It's down 8%. Maybe it can go a little bit lower, but yeah, I'm just gonna DCA because I know whether it's 1 year or 2 years from now, it's gonna be much higher due to how strong the fundamentals are for Microsoft.
Yeah,
and it's super interesting. Cool. Sorry, Mimi. Sorry, go.
go. No, go. Sorry, there's like a delay. You go.
I know. It's gonna be tricky today. But Yeah, like the interesting thing with Microsoft is the fact that like they're a legacy business, right? Like any major hiccup that you have with like a company with like Microsoft, you can cost billions of dollars worth of revenue, right? So you don't want to sort of go in and kind of like implement all the changes really quickly. Microsoft always lags behind, but always right? Like they're a legacy business for like the big companies, right? Like every business has Windows, every business has Word, PowerPoint. All of these services are just going to get incorporated within. Whoa.
Yeah. So
They're going to get
if you didn't
incorporated.
hear
All of these
Nestor,
businesses are going to get
he
incorporated.
was saying that he was saying that
You're
Microsoft
gonna
is a
have to mute
strong
him.
business that's gonna be here for the next um 20 years. Now over to you, Mimi.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much was gonna say very similar thing. He just dropped out. Did you just drop out?
Oh my God,
Was that me?
he's gone.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, we have technical difficulties today because I'm in Australia. Times is out of whack, but my Wi-Fi is also playing up as well. So that's why the setup's a bit weird. But um, but yeah, I mean, I added Microsoft to the portfolio. Microsoft's pretty in my top, I think top six or top seven at the moment. Um, and I'm just going to keep DCAing as well. Meta did really well. I'm assuming I didn't really look really deeply into Meta because Meta just was actually fine, didn't fall like Microsoft did. But they're also spending a lot too.
Yeah, what we saw on Meta was actually a solid beat, and they clearly show that AI is helping them to gain more revenue. That's why the stock is up so much. Of course, Meta was down around uh, 25% already this since the highs. So it's difficult to
Yeah.
say whether it's really due to earnings or maybe because it was so oversold. So here we have Microsoft. It's now trading in pre-market at around 450, and Meta. I'm gonna see if it's still up. So Meta is still up, yeah, around 730, trading in the aftermarket. So that's not like a solid bounce, and I'm getting messages that stocks are down today. So I wanna double check what people are seeing. So not really. The
Let's have a quick
futures of
look.
the S&P are basically flat and Nasdaq flat. So yeah, not much going on in the pre-market. We do have gold hitting another all-time high today. Silver another all-time high today. Palladium
Yeah.
lagging. Copper another all-time high. So commodities are
Mm-hmm.
still doing really good. What's your thoughts
Yeah.
about that?
I mean, the question. I mean, you look, metals at the moment are having their own, version of alt season, right? This is what everyone. It's actually the most, I guess, to the crypto community specifically, is the most hated rally right now is the metal rally, but it's behaving like it's alt season for metals, and the question really is like why, and I don't think it's as simple as there's just uncertainty and therefore people are running to a safe haven. I think there's just so many layers to this. And it's the same with it's the same when we talked about the geopolitical problems recently with US and Venezuela. And I remember saying that it's not just about oil, even though predominantly it is, but there's so many other layers to it. So I do want to dig into a little bit, get your thoughts first. Like why do you think gold, silver, metals in general are rallying like this? It's absolute insanity.
So for gold, I'm bullish for gold. I started to be bullish for gold 2 years ago, but I didn't really buy in my portfolio. I only bought like last year, because the trend was so strong. And in gold, what we see are multiple year of sideways price action, but once the bull market is confirmed, it can go really hard. Basically what Bitcoin and altcoins can do, but on a longer time frame. Like for gold, I measure it more as a 8-year cycle, while for crypto it's more 4 years. So you will see gold go down for 3 years or sideways for 3 years, and then 1 year massively up. And that's what we're seeing right now, that the trend is really strong for gold, and I do see it going higher, comparing to silver, where it's already up like let me get to silver. Silver is so crazy how parabolic
It's just
this move
it's a
is.
straight line. It's
It's
literally,
insane.
literally a straight line.
It's insane.
I mean, me and Nestor, we were talking about it right here. I was already invested, but that's where Nestor bought at around 50, and then he sold at 45, and he missed
Yeah, I lost money.
to
I'm the only
triple.
investor that lost money on silver.
So
Hey,
I think for silver, there's a higher probability that the market is gonna be topping out just because of this parabolic move. But I'm not gonna short. So what I'm doing is simply scaling out. Uh, I either invest my money from silver into gold, or I will invest it in Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, I want to see some changes in trend first before I invest my money in Bitcoin, because right now it's still a bit weak. But I'm taking my money out of silver and putting it in gold, because gold, the trend is still more sustainable than the one from silver, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like the why, like, firstly, there's going to be a correction. That's, if people have been asking, do I buy gold now? Do I buy silver now? And there is going to be a massive correction, because I do see more upside as well. I'll be waiting. Sorry, give me one second. I think my AirPods are dying. So let me take it.
Oh,
Can you guys hear me?
because you're on my mobile. Yeah, we can hear you. Do you still have enough power?
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. So with there's going to be a correction for certain, a pretty heavy one, because it can't be sustained. This rally can't be sustained, right? So in terms of the why, and I've been down the rabbit hole as of late in terms of cycles, and right now, obviously take this with a grain of salt, not financial advice. There are so many, the theory that the talk out there right now is that a lot of the cycles, the economic cycles, the market cycles, the societal cycles are all converging at the moment. So for example, Ray Dalio, billionaire investor, has been talking about, his theory is more like about the big cycle of the rise and fall of empires. And so that and coupled with like the K-wave cycle, which is basically about, it states that capitalist economies go through growth and decline every 50 to 60 years. Ray Dalio's big theory cycle is also every 80 to 100 years. There's also, you integrate it with like the fourth turning, and you talk about, the 18-year real estate cycle. All of that at the moment is at the verge of either topping out, which also means breaking down. Not saying that they're going to happen right at the same moment, but more so the fact that we are heading into potentially somewhat of a reset. And during this time, you see a lot of political unrest, you see a lot of rioting, you see a lot of distrust in the governments, you see a lot of, currency debasement, and then also the insane rise of commodities as well. So we're kind of seeing all of that. And I wouldn't, I would take all theories with a grain of salt, but at the same time, the Benner cycle as well, which is like created by a farmer. When is the bad times, the panic times are good times, and we're currently 2026 is where we're at in the good times, which is also apparently the year, not financial, but the year to take profits is what that theory also states. But the thing is, whether one is right or not, it's more about the convergence. It's finding confluence, right? All of these theories are somewhat lining up and pointing to the fact that we're at a point where there's going to be likely a monetary reset, a societal reset. There's going to be a huge shift. And these tend to be also marked by big innovations, technological revolutions. And so this is where we're at. And it makes sense because you look at what's happening in the US, you look at the geopolitical tensions, you look at AI, it all makes sense. And so the question really is, and so that's the explanation of possibly why commodities are rallying like this. And I guess the question for investors is, what do we do? What do we do with our money? Do we invest in metals? Well, how much is the upside right now if you've invested it now? Do we invest in stocks? I mean, the stock market's pretty frothy for a while now as well. Then you think about crypto. There's also the theory that the price of Bitcoin potentially, and we're getting into like tin foil kind of like territories, that it could be suppressed by big money, smart money governments. But that's kind of where I'm at. Sorry about the ramble.
No, it's clear that we are, because I also have this picture where you had the 18-year real estate cycle. Is this in line with the economic cycle for stocks, or how do I see it, Mimi?
Well, it just states that in terms of the 18-year real estate cycle, it's also about to top out. And when that generally happens, we just see, a break in the system, a downturn. It's just that all of these cycles are pointing to potential, either a recession, a deeper bear market. But some analysts also say that this potentially could be one of the biggest that we've had for a while. I don't want to be like all doomsday, right? But it's good to take everything into consideration and step away for a bit and see the bigger picture, and then think, okay, how do I trade this, or how do I invest? And for me, what I'm doing personally is that I'm going to be as prepared as I can by having more cash ready, because like you said, Timothy, obviously dips are for best time for buying, and I'm just gonna wait for those moments, and any positions that I'm in that are like high in profit, I'm just going to take and be ready for those times, and just DCA when the time comes.
So we are having a lot of questions about how high can gold and silver go, and are you gonna buy the dip in those as well, or is it mainly stocks and crypto? Mimi?
Me?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. I'll be adding metals to the portfolio when there's a larger correction, not these like mini ones that we've seen, like a bit of like a pullback recently, because I think that I did with silver, by the way, but I'll be closing that soon. That's just a trade. I will do a short gold. I mean, that's also the question, and I think it's so dangerous to buy now and short it, my opinion only. But I would be adding it in terms of stocks, not at this very moment. I'll be looking to take profit, and I'm in that camp with Dimitri as well, where we were asked, are we bullish or bearish for 2026? It's really hard to say, and Dimitri is a little bearish from memory for 2020, for this year, but not right now. I don't think right now. He's just said that at some point this year.
Yeah, it's going to shift.
We'll see.
If we continue to go up this fast, at some point we're going to have to think and evaluate whether the prices are getting out of hand or not, right? So like, but there are opportunities everywhere, right? Like not only on gold and silver, but it's like if you look at Micron, for example, it's still looking appealing, right? There's other companies that are like potentially showing strength, like energy companies, like Evernova. You have freaking Fluence, First Solar. Those companies are still showing strength, right? Even though the AI rallies in some of the companies are taking a hit, we're gonna see that money move somewhere else. Money that don't just leave markets. It sort of pivots, and the question is, where does it go next, right? Like, it's going to sit like gold and silver.
I have an answer.
Like, I agree with a lot of the things you say, for sure.
So one
Yeah.
thing that I'm watching right now is mainly software stocks, because software stocks are really hated right now because there's so much fear that AI will just be able to replace all these softwares. But I think on the contrary that it will boost earnings because they will adapt also very fast to all the AI skills and be able to generate more income thanks to AI. So for me, I'm buying a lot of software stocks like ServiceNow yesterday reported earnings, also solid beat on both sides. And yeah, I think if we look 1 year, 2 years ahead, these are the companies that just will rebound and benefit and are worth watching. Same for Salesforce, maybe even Adobe. I think Adobe still has a lot of value. So these are like the trades that are scary because they're dropping a lot. Like from the highs, it's already now pre-market is down 50%. I mean, if you go to the mall and you can buy a sweater or a t-shirt for minus 50%, that's a buy for me. And it's the same in the stock market. When you see things on sale, I hit the buy button. So that's the thing. How the thing I'm paying attention right now, actually.
Yeah, and just because we say
Yeah.
like that we're buying now doesn't mean it can't go lower. It can, 100%. You know, but we're expecting those things. If we can get a better deal, right? If we like it right now and it drops another 10, we're probably going to be buying more unless the story changes, right? These companies have the expertise, the knowledge, and they still have access to AI. So it's not like they're going to just surrender their market lead, you know? They're going to hire people to fix this thing. So I'm bullish. Like I like Adobe at this price.
Yeah. I'm looking at
I don't even
cybersecurity.
Oh
know.
yeah.
Ooh.
So like CrowdStrike, you know, for example, that's one example. Energy, obviously we're looking at energy stocks as well. Bloom Energy is one, the AI play. It's kind of like in its own lane. There are other companies that do something similar, which is, you know, using natural gas and biogas to generate electricity. But Bloom Energy is more on that enterprise level, and I bought that in December, and it's since then it's been up like 43% because of a combination of things, but a lot of it was you know, landing $1 billion, you know, partnerships. So those are kind of my focus, as well as Bitcoin and crypto overall. Because if you really think about it, right, not that I'm trying to shill crypto, even though I do have a love for crypto, it is one of the most hated sectors right now. And if you're talking about what has the most upside, it can't be commodities until they have a massive pullback. It can't really be it. Obviously, big tech, yes, of course, but again, you know, Nvidia, AMD, they're all like at their all-time highs. So not that I won't continue to hold those positions and invest in them, but I will continue to stack Bitcoin and Ethereum and Ripple, and they're all going to do really well long term. I really think they're going to go hand in hand with this AI tech revolution. So that's kind of where my focus is going to be as well.
What I like about Bitcoin right now is that it's not really breaking down. So it's been now 2 months and it's holding around these levels. So sideways is better than going down in my opinion, especially now that we are at supposedly the bear phase of the 4-year cycle. So hopefully, yeah, Bitcoin can just wipe that theory away. For me personally, as long as the 4-year cycle continues to hold, I am going to stay a little bit more cautious for 2026. Um, in terms of where I'm taking a long trade on Bitcoin, so when looking at the price, maybe me and you, Mimi, can share our thoughts here. But I was looking at around the top here that we had on Wednesday last week. This was
Yeah.
January. No, yeah, it was yesterday actually. Price went as high as let me recheck. It was around
Like 90,000
9400. Yeah.
500.
So this level, if we can break this level, could be a first
Yeah.
sign of a short-term reversal. That's where I would take a long. Or if we get lower to, let's say, um, the range here around 84, 85, that's where I wanna buy Bitcoin, and hopefully it can hold this level. Okay, I'm not sure what you are
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah, I am keeping a close eye on Bitcoin. It's I know that we keep saying this, but it seems to be at a pivotal moment, right? So for me personally, I am looking for a long. I think that a relief rally is due, and it either will be around here or a meaningful bounce at around 83,000, just around there. I don't at this very moment, and obviously things could change because it all depends on price action and obviously fundamentals and what's happening macro wise. But I don't at this very moment see it going straight down to a new low just yet. I do see a relief rally coming, so I'm looking for to place a long, and potentially continue to add to my Bitcoin positions. In terms of how low it will go, I think the consensus at the moment is that we're looking at 65K, 70K potentially. There have been other traders out there that have thrown in the idea, and this, just take this with the smallest grain of salt, is that potentially we could revisit 50K levels. I don't think that. I personally don't think that at all. But right at this very moment, we're in relief rally mode, and for it to relief rally to come, to head towards the 100K again, and then see what happens there. Because I've been saying that this year potentially we could see bears and bulls both be right. It could potentially not go as low as the bears think, but it potentially couldn't. It potentially won't even reach an all-time high just yet, until it finds a new low. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Bitcoin. It's a bit of a, everyone's just wait and see right now. But for me, relief rally next.
It's funny because there's a lot of talk on YouTube that Bitcoin is headed into a bear market and that it's gonna be a downtrend and head lower. So this could be like a very contrarian indicator. The usual perma bulls are now turning bearish, so that means most sellers have sold already. So we could expect like a bounce at least, and I've been saying that I'm expecting a bounce to the 50-week moving average, but that's not a certainty just because in 2014 there was a bounce, but it didn't really hit the 50-week moving average here. You can see there was a break, but it didn't get this far. In all other cycles, the 50-week moving average did get hit here at this level, and then last cycle we did get a test of the 50-week moving average. So depending on how strong it is, what we do see is if it's a bear market, the price usually tests around that 200 weekly moving average. So that's the red line here. You can see last cycle it went below it. During the pandemic crash, it hits. During the bear market, it hits. And I believe also here, yeah. So it hit those levels. So that's sitting now around 58k for Bitcoin. So it's slightly below 60k. So I could see Bitcoin go there actually, but yeah, impossible to predict, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, guys.
So
By the way, I think I'm gonna head out now. I might do the episode talking about the Fed. I'm still doing analysis on it, as you can see. Very, very hard at work. So,
yes,
just so yeah, I'll probably like do a Dimitri's episode at some point to talk about the Fed, because there was some interesting things that they talked about. I think there's more liquidity coming too. So yeah, you know, I want to say thank you guys.
thank you, Nestor.
It is time to get back to work.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yesterday was a fantastic day for
Enjoy.
investors. Keep up, everybody, the good work. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
See you next week.
Woo.
And by the way, hi Dimitris. I saw you joined.
Hello.
Perfect.
Hello, Dimitri. We got to talk about the Fed soon. All right. Peace.
Yeah, we will.
I think we can talk about it a little bit right now, Dimitris. What you say?
I say one thing about the big thing that you talked about.
Say that again.
So-
I'm gonna mute and Nestor. Yeah.
I want to add just one thing about Bitcoin that you guys just were talking about. Like sometimes you want to see the indicators, like if we are at the bottom, if we are at the top, and all that. And I was just thinking this the other day. I want to get your thoughts. Every time that Bitcoin is like the bottom of the bear market, of the bottom of the sell-off, usually the people come out and they say it's going to zero, right? We haven't gotten one of those in a while. And those people, they come, they say it's going to zero, then it goes down 10%, they celebrate, and then up it goes and they hide away. And also another thing that I'm wondering if we are already to the bottom or nearing the bottom, is like the opportunists still joining, thinking it's an easy trade. And those two things are making me wonder, like, are we there yet, or like we have like a bit more? Because I'm not looking really technical like you guys. For me, it's like the feel and like I'm doing it the contrarian way. But you see people joining, thinking it's an easy trade. They're thinking they're gonna make easy money, and while those people are in, it's unlikely to turn around. We have to get that it's going to zero a little bit. And the people that have been into crypto for a while, they've seen that 1,000 times and they're not going to pay attention to it. But the guy who didn't like crypto a year ago and now joining because he thinks it's going to make an easy returns, he will get out. Some people come into mind when I'm speaking about this. But yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I'm not trying to make any
so obviously it's
yeah. This is what I had in mind when you guys were talking about
it's almost like
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's very psychology based as well, and so we're looking at the technicals, right? Obviously, it's telling us this is where it's going to go, very likely. In terms of psychology, so we need to take that into consideration. And what is the sentiment? The sentiment is awful. The sentiment is awful, but how awful does it need to get for it to be the bottom? And I don't think that the sentiment is that awful yet. It's awful, but you want to have the permabulls give up. I've seen a little bit of that already, which is a good thing, you know. It means we're close. We're close, but there are some that I know of that are just extremely disappointed and disheartened. And I feel that because we didn't get the rally that we wanted. Maybe in Bitcoin, yes, but we didn't get the alt season that we wanted. And again, we've had those bull cycles where, well, one in particular where we didn't top in with with euphoria, as Timothy has spoken about before, and so which is 2019. It's very similar, but at the moment there's just a yeah. I think at the point when you have perma bulls and gone and like that's it, we're done, we're selling, then that's where the bottom is, and we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
So what I just want to say before we head up to the next conversation is, looking at Bitcoin just in its totality, we can say with certainty that in the next 4, 5, 10 years, it's gonna be higher and making new highs. So if you're not as active as us, you can just simply DCA and you will probably outperform 90% of the traders, because right now traders are getting chopped away, especially in this range between 85k and 98k. So a lot of people are just losing money because they go long and then they get stopped out, and then they go short and then they get stopped out. But if you're just DCAing every month or every week a little bit of your income into Bitcoin, um, with the strong fundamental belief that in the long term it will be higher, then you will probably outperform those traders and make more money than if you're even trying to trade, unless you can be like us on the screen all the time, you know. Because you can miss one day and Bitcoin's price action can move multiple percent in one day, and then you will miss that trade if you're not on your desk. While if you just DCA, you can profit from your life and profit from Bitcoin's price action when it goes up. If it goes lower, you just buy more. If it goes higher, you just buy more. There's nothing difficult to that, but you have to stomach the short-term volatility, of course. You need to stomach them to be in crypto. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
the true nature of DCA, it sounds easy, but it might be a little hard to do for the average investor, because you have to buy at the sell-off and you have to buy at the top. And human nature it can, like, it's easy for us because we've been doing this for a while. But for someone that, am I going to buy the top or am I going to buy the bottom, and then you buy and then it goes further down and then you buy more? People try to pick the timing again. But if you do truly do the pure DCA, then you're beating 90% of the managers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We can go on to the next topic, which is, what did Jerome Powell said? I think, Dimitris, you're the one watching yesterday.
Yeah.
Maybe you can share what you saw.
So, you know what? I expected a bit, because you have to take into consideration, like, if you watched the press conference yesterday, like, not taking into consideration what happened last week or the week before, when he went live and he did a solo press conference addressing the DOJ probe on the Federal Reserve. So with that in mind, I thought the Fed would be a bit more hawkish. but he wasn't. He was neutral actually, and I was surprised about that. As expected, the rates stayed unchanged. I've been saying that since the last meeting, and it's my view that we're not going to get a rate cut on the next meeting, perhaps not in May either. I think that the rate cut, we're going to get them with the new Fed chair. I don't think Jay Powell is going to deliver any more rate cuts until he's done. But other than that, this press conference was a bit more off topic, asking him personal questions about what happened with Trump and about the board member that Trump is trying to remove, and the case is going into the Supreme Court. So it was a different kind of press conference, not like the ones we used to. It wasn't just about policy. It was policy plus personal plus speculation on who is next and what we do. But that said, I'm feeling good about where the Fed stands at this point. I did not want to get a rate cut yesterday. It would set up the market to perhaps go up for a day or two, but then come to the realization that it's not going to be sustainable to keep getting rate cuts until the end of the year. It's going to have to be stop and go. And that's not how the Fed works. The Fed this is a new year, this is a new clean slate. And then when inflation allows for more rate cuts, then we're going to cut more. That was my base case. So the Fed did a good job, in my opinion, yesterday, and holding. The majority was like 10 to 2, 10 to hold steady, and 2 board members to cut. No surprise, it was what was his name? Miran, his last name, the guy that Trump appointed, and Waller, the 2 most dovish from all the Fed members. But other than that, I think it was a neutral tone, holding his cards close to his chest, not making promises. I think it's been a long time since he made a promise, so we got used to that. It was one of the standard. If you take away the personal questions, was just a standard, classic Jay Powell performance.
And just a follow-up question on, let's say if he gets replaced by someone dovish, will it be bullish for the markets? Or what? We know markets are always pricing in 6 months forward. So how will the market see the appointment of someone dovish?
Okay, so there is a trick here that Trump is trying to do. So Trump clearly knows that Jay Powell is leaving in May, but what all the DOJ probe is try to remove him completely from the board, because after he leaves as the Fed chair, he remains on the board, so he gets a vote. What Trump wants to do is to get a new chair and get another one, so get 2 votes, plus the 2 votes he already has on his favor, Waller and Miran. It's not exactly majority, but he can get his way more easily than what it is now. Now, depending who is going to be the Fed chair, the names I saw, they are all qualified. There's no question about that. I mean, we're not getting someone that has no business being the Fed chair. They are all economists. They all have like the right background. One guy has close ties to Wall Street. That's the guy who manages the bonds in BlackRock. His name escapes me. I think his name is Rick Ryder. He's probably the most qualified one to be the Fed chair, but I don't like it because he has close ties to Wall Street and BlackRock. I prefer someone more not from the street. To answer your question, if the market is going to rally, I think the market rallies. Yes, if we get a dovish character into as the Fed chair, yeah, the market rallies initially, but the test is going to be the first FOMC meeting. He has to get in front of the press, and he has to convince us and the market that he knows what he's talking about, and he has the trust of the rest of the board members. You know, it happens. You can appoint an incompetent Fed chair. I'm sure that happened in the past. So initially, when we get the announcement, and once it gets voted by the Senate, because it has to go through the Senate to be approved, once that goes, we're going to see his background, and we're going to figure out if it's dovish or hawkish. And if it's dovish, the market is going to rally. If it's hawkish, the market is going to dip a little bit. You know, this is just standard. But what happens initially is not really going to matter. It's the first FOMC meeting. He has to get on the press conference. He has to go back and forth with the press. And you know, the press, they ask tough questions in real time. And you can't say, you know what, let me think about that. Because we are watching, the market is watching, and we're trading as we're watching. So that would be the first test. But with who is in the list, I have no doubt that the right person is going to be in the Fed. And I'm going to go one step further. Whoever that person is, no matter how dovish or wants to listen to Trump initially, I think he's going to grow into the role, and he's going to do the right thing for the Fed. I don't think the Fed independence is going to go away. This is just fear. This is just sensationalism for the media, or for the people that don't know much about it. Whoever gets the role, I think is going to grow into the role and will do the right thing. And after all, it's just one vote. It takes some time to force some influence into the board. You don't just walk in and then they do everything you say. This is Washington. You don't have any friends. These people, they want your job, so they're not gonna go. You know what I mean? So I apologize if I talk too much.
One question was, will Trump put someone that he can influence? But I'm not sure, is Trump putting someone, or can he influence being the one that helps to put someone? How do you see that?
So Jay Powell was Trump's appointment. At the time that he chose Powell, he thought that he could control him. But you can choose him, you can hope that he's going to listen to you, but once it gets approved, you cannot remove him. And he's going to outlast you, because the Fed chair is for 6 years. Trump is going to be around for 2 more years. So if you are someone, because those jobs, which by the way, I'm writing an article about this, I was going to post it like in a couple of hours, why we shouldn't worry about the new Fed chair. Whoever gets the job, he's going to have to manage his relationship with Trump, but at the same time, do whatever it has to do for the dual mandate, price stability and inflation. So Trump is going to try to get someone that can listen to him, at least initially. But once you get in there and you get approved, nobody is removing you. There's no way, this is not a communist country that's going to say, you know what, you get out, I'm going to get, I do your job for you. This is not how it works. So once the Fed chair gets approved, and then the realization kicks that Trump is going to be out in 2 years, I'm going to be in here for 6 years, perhaps I should play ball and satisfy the Democrats as well, so I can be in it for 6 more years. I mean, this is politics. So they would do whatever they have to do, which is better for themselves. They're not going to ruin their reputation for Trump. Big paychecks are waiting for them after they finish their role in the private sector. It's so simplistic to say, okay, he's going to get his guy in there, and they're going to print to infinity, and they're going to do QE forever, and the dollar is going to be worthless. No, this is nonsense. people that say that and believe them and say them out loud, they don't know what they're talking about. This is the real world, and no. You know what? I'm gonna make a bet with you guys. I bet $100 that within 18 months, whoever the new guy is, he's going to be the enemy of Trump. Trump is not gonna like him. He's gonna go on Twitter and say, you know what? I should have put in that guy in there.
Just like with
Because Trump,
Okay.
Powell, and just like with his dispute with Elon Musk, whenever Elon Musk was
yes,
helping him.
yeah, Elon Musk, Jay Powell. I mean, do you remember Anthony Scaramucci? He got the press conference role for 3 days. 3 days. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you this. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you, because I remember last time we spoke on your outlook on 2026. So we got dovish Fed chair, got liquidity coming and everything. Are you still bearish for 2026?
You know what? I was bearish. I wasn't really bearish. I saw a slowdown in the economy, and that's what it looked like. It was like 3 months ago. I'm not really bearish for the economy, but I'm not as bullish as the administration make it, like presented the picture that we're going to have 4% growth and 1% inflation. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. No, I'm not bearish, but I think we're gonna get more rate cuts, not because the economy is gonna slow down, but because the inflation is gonna drop further, and getting down to neutral, it's rates have to come down like 3.5 to 3.75. That's what it is now. It's high, and it doesn't help the housing market. And the housing market is a big part of the U.S. economy. So that's bipartisan. That's not one party or the other. That's both parties would agree on that. So I think we're getting there. As far the economy, no, I'm not bearish, but this latest rally in big tech, I don't buy it. Something about it don't feel right. The Max 7, I don't know, something about them. That's why I'm not buying tech. Something about them doesn't. I mean,
You're not
selectively,
buying
you can.
Microsoft?
No, no. Whatever I have, I have. I'm not buying more. The
Oh, fair enough,
trade that I
Mimi.
would do, the trade that I would do is a trade that you said last week, Meta. You made the call on Meta last week, right? Or was it the week before?
I've been saying Meta for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks,
So
yeah,
yeah, now it's up what 10% almost
10%. Yeah, the
after
Meta out all of
pre-market.
yeah. So from all of them, if I had to buy a tech, it would be Meta. It wouldn't be anything else. I have enough of them. I'm not buying. I'm not selling either, but I'm not buying tech at this moment.
Mimi says her internet cut off. That's okay, Mimi. Well, maybe one last question before we go. Mimi, you can answer in the
Yes.
chat. So what's on your desk? Because of course, every week we cover the one asset that looks appealing for us to add to the portfolio. You can go first, Dimitris. Let us know what have you been buying or eyeing.
So, United Healthcare.
Damn it.
United Healthcare. It's on my desk. I bought it the day of the drop. I was chatting with Nestor at the time of the purchase, because it was a gross overreaction, and what made it an easy decision, it was nothing like April last year, because at that time it was just UNH problem. This time it was the
whole
sector.
sector.
Whole sector. So whatever you bought Humana or whatever you bought CVS, you did the right move. So first of all, the reports of Trump going to keep flat the Medicare spending instead of 5% or instead of 4%, it will be 0.09%, basically flat. Coincidentally, came the night before UNH reported earnings. I don't know about you, but I don't believe in coincidences. The timing couldn't be worse. So that's number one. Number two, the company reported earnings. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. I mean, this is a turnaround. This is not. This is the company had issues in 2024. They showed up 2025, and the company is in process to engineer a turnaround. And the whole sector got hit by politics. And I don't think, and this is speculation, by the way, nothing is guaranteed. It's going to be talked about in April. My guess is that Trump does what Trump does. He said he shoots for the stars, but aiming for the moon. So the expected was 4% increase in Medicare. Trump said 0. Let's say we're going to meet in the middle, 2%, 2.5, whatever the number is. 2.5 is better than 0. That's number one. And number two, I think the company is coming around. I think they're doing their best to cut costs. They're putting their affairs in order, and every single risk that could be priced in the price is priced in already. I mean, how many times you and I talked about this on Market Bus about UNH? Something happens every single time. Like whatever could happen, it did happen. So if this is not the bottom, we are very, very near it. So the downside, it's very limited, but the upside, it's quite significant. So risk to reward ratio, it's a good pickup, but you have to be a bit patient. This is going to take a while. This could take a few months. It would take one good earnings report, at least, to get the attention of investors, and then we're going to start building from there. So this is a long-term play. This is not a trade. This is an investment.
Yeah. So I actually invested in UNH as well, and Mimi is back. Hi, Mimi. What
Hello.
happened?
Nesta being on a mountain has better data than me in Australia.
Yeah. That's true. Nestor has better data than us all combined, I think. He has secrets. So, Mimi, what's on your desk?
My desk at the moment is mostly Bitcoin, watching Bitcoin, but I'm looking at cybersecurity, and I'm looking at more in terms of the AI play. What's really next? Bloom Energy is something I keep talking about, and that's what's on my desk at the moment. Yeah.
All right. So, Bloom Energy. I saw it was
It's done so
going very hard, making new highs this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a long-term investment for me.
Where did you buy?
I bought. I'm up for like 50% on that position or positions. I can't quite remember, but bought in December, like early to mid December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a nice uptrend, so looks solid. And then we have cybersecurity CrowdStrike. Because I
like
saw
this
the
one.
whole security business being in in a bit of a pullback. So this doesn't look much, but it's still like 20% down from the highs.
Yeah.
We have Fortinet. I know Toby is also into Fortinet. I am as well, and Palo Alto.
Palo Alto as well. I'm looking at Palo Alto as well to add that.
Yeah, I know Aga invested in it,
Yeah.
and it's also from the highs around 20%. So cybersecurity is definitely something that's gonna be around, especially with AI. I mean, the security is going to be tested with AI. I think there will be more hacks, there will be more breaches. So we're gonna need security, and for me, that means those companies that are currently, uh, yeah, strong within that sector are really the players where you want to invest in. I mean, look at those earnings reports, all green for the last couple of years for Palo Alto. So it's probably one of the best companies. Um, Maybe not the giving the most returns. I would say CrowdStrike might give you the most returns, but CrowdStrike isn't net profitable. So I checked, and CrowdStrike is doing well, but it's not net profitable. But they're working on it. The moment they are, I think this one will explode even more to the upside. I'm just hesitant because, to me, based on my calculation, it's a little bit overvalued, still around um, 20 23% overvalued. So I would wait for a deeper correction, because it's really a loved stock right now, and I like to buy when things are hated, just like UNH. But yeah, the things I'm watching, I said already, software. So um, Now and Salesforce, those are like good companies with solid foundations that will profit from the AI boom. Um, Salesforce now also heading down, because a lot of software companies are struggling right now. They do report earnings on March, for March. So I'm curious to see how it goes. So I'm just gonna
This one is
DCA in those companies. Hmm?
this one is Salesforce is it had trouble with the chart doesn't look too good,
The chart
even though the
doesn't look
company,
too good, and I don't
yeah.
mind, because I love the fundamentals, and looking at earnings, they're still growing consistently. So revenue really going up year after year, which is a good sign. Earnings as well, if you look by the year. Not sure if I can check here.
You had this for a
uh,
long time, no? You were invested in Salesforce like for a while now.
yeah, I've
Or you had both?
always been invested in
Okay.
Salesforce.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm and the CEO of Salesforce is extremely bullish on AI. So I know for sure that they are using AI to earn more money, and um, changing the business model to become more profitable, and also reduce cost by laying off people. They announced to lay off a lot of people, so that will reduce their costs as well. So UNH, I also bought UNH, and then maybe you're gonna love this one. This is a crypto coin. I don't know if you know it, Mimi. Do you know it? Is Mimi still there? Ah, she
So
left.
what? So what about it? What about this coin? Like that caught your
Do you know?
attention?
Do you know which coin this is, Dimitris?
Mhm. No.
It's called the gold. Gold on crypto, Pax Gold. So it's basically replicating gold, but then on chain. And I know Mimi is
Okay.
investing in Pax Gold just to have some allocation into crypto, but uh, on the other side, invest in gold because gold is in a bull market right now. So
The
if you're
chart looks
not
similar
able to
to.
buy gold, you can just buy it in crypto.
So the chart looks similar to to gold.
Yeah, if you add gold to to the chart, it's gonna be similar. Gold, you see,
Yeah, it's
it
identical
tracks
actually.
it really tracks the price of gold, just like um, it would do if you buy gold.
Do they have do they hold like gold deposit?
Yeah, it's backed by real
Yeah.
gold.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay. That was okay. So that changes things.
So
That's a
it's just
different
gold.
kind of. Yes. Let's go. Who is the? Is this like crypto from some company or anything like that?
Not sure. I have no idea.
So instead of
I-
buying the ETF,
If
you're buying this.
if you would ask Peter Schiff, he would just uh, be kicking your ass because he would say just buy gold, just like
Yeah.
the ETF on gold. It should be backed by gold, but it's just a way for the crypto bros that are not willing to buy gold themselves. They can just pretend they're buying crypto, but actually they are buying gold, and they can ride the trend with him.
Uh,
Okay, we
okay.
have some
Okay.
comments from Mimi. I'll say bye here, guys. She has bad connections. And she says, I think Bloom will do Palantir moves over the next few years. Okay,
Hmm.
good to know. Okay,
Bloom
I
Energies
think
and
we
what?
we had all the questions. Maybe you want to add something. Look at copper miners. Adrian giving some
FCC.
tickers. FCC. Let's check. I was actually going to buy copper, but um, since I'm in Belgium, I can't buy any ETFs for copper on eToro. So is this FCC? I'm not sure. We have
That's what it's like.
SCCO, Copper Corporation going parabolic. Guess
Yes.
that's the one. It's up.
Oh, this is up like on the way up.
Yeah, just in the last few weeks, up 80%.
I mean,
Commodities.
are you really jumping into this train? I mean, even if you want to, 80% like in a couple of few weeks. I mean, are you jumping? What's this? Okay, this
This
is
is
not the
also
ETF. Yeah.
copper miners. Adrian suggested. So yeah, I'm really cautious now in terms of buying for the long term. Um, but this could be a good trade, but with a tight stop loss. For people who just want to buy and hold, I wouldn't suggest. because it's really going parabolic, and we know parabolic moves don't end well. You can have severe crashes. It's just hard to know like when is the bull market going to end, you know. You could either just buy and sell when the trend reverses, and that you can do by plotting in indicators. So let's say the same on Bitcoin, you know, look at the 50 week. If it's going up, that's a good sign. It's above the 50-week moving average. But once you see it close below the 50 moving average, like here in 2011, it had a severe downtrend. And only when it traded well above the 50-week moving average, you had a small uptrend. So you will always give up a little bit gains, but you will prevent the big spikes down. And you I'm building like on eToro. You can now build trading bots with base 44, and I'm building strategies where you will automatically buy when it's above and sell when it's below the 50-week moving average, just to ride these trends. But of course, the space here between now and the 50-week moving average, you will lose, let's say, 46%. So now is not the time you want to start this strategy. You start this
Yeah.
strategy when it's getting above the 50-week moving average. If you're going on a lower time frame, even the 50-day moving average, it's well above there. So at least you have to wait for a retest, and eventually it will, and then you can buy and trade to the upside. Because price is really like a, a rubber band where you can simply um, stretch something out from the moving average, and then it will snap back. It will stretch out and then snap back to the moving average. It's never gonna go straight up. That's what we know in technical analysis. Something else in the chat? Let's see. FCX. FCX was the ticker. This one?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's a bit less compared to the other ones, I feel. Maybe it needs to
Yeah,
catch up.
yeah, but still, it had like a.
Yeah. It's still from the lows here, still up 90%. For me personally, I like to buy when things are turning down. So for me, tech right now is more the thing that interests me. I added service now. I don't know if you know the company.
I know the company, yes.
And I'm just adding in layers, you know. So I never know when the downtrend is gonna end. So I I place orders where I think there is some support. So I added here, I added here. I will add more if it drops lower. I I do measure, like, for example, if this is the top and I'm gonna buy, let's say for the first time I bought here, it's down 40%, then the next time it will be at least a few percent lower, not like 2% lower or 3%. In this place it was around 7% lower, and here 5%, 6% lower. And next time I will watch for again 5 to 7% lower. So when I see support, I will be buying here, for example. And always in the same layers. Let's say you invest 1% of your portfolio here, then you need to do the same here. Because most people, they invest 5% here, and then they invest another 1%, and then they invest another 0.5%. So you have to scale in at the same rate. So I
Yes.
buy a bit here, and then the same allocation here, and the same allocation here. And then when things reverse, the lower buys are your biggest profits. So you need to keep
Yes.
ammo for lower buys. If you are not able to do it, you better you need to spread it better, or you just stop investing, because stop buying the same ticker. Sometimes you can just stop buying and focus on something else. So for me, that's how I'm playing this this stock, for example. Lockheed
Yeah.
Martin.
You have to double down. When you double down, you have to be enough to matter, to fill in your portfolio if you're right. Lockheed are doing well today.
Wow.
Huh.
I was thinking of buying it, actually. I was having it on my watch list. Um, there was this massive move down first here when Trump said something about defensive, and then he reversed that, and then the price went up, and now it's all the way here. It's a bit too late now, and it's new all-time highs, up 6%, and they missed earnings.
Yeah, I mean the fundamentals just got better if the government's gonna place a big order.
The thing is, as long as Trump is president, you want to be in defensive stocks, because
Defensive
there's
stocks,
always
yes.
gonna be some dispute.
Yes.
So yeah, I knew this move was coming, but I didn't pay attention.
And you know what? I think this move came after he said that he's not going to allow dividends. Do you remember that? That was last week, two
Yeah,
weeks ago. That he said he's not going to allow dividends or share buybacks. So yeah, the market like that. They have orders to
and
build more
probably he
F-35.
said that he bought some, and then they ordered to build more F-35s.
Yes, yes, he
That's
did
how it
for
goes.
sure.
So I'm thinking he's gonna do the same for healthcare, like
Yeah.
UNH.
Do you imagine? Listen, it was a no-brainer. That 20% on a single day. And it wasn't just them. It was like it wasn't an underlying issue of UNH. It was like the whole sector. So that day, if you had some cash, it was a good time to buy. And those don't come very often, like once or twice a year for some stocks.
It's impressive for a healthcare company to drop 20% like that. And also
Yeah, I mean,
knowing that, knowing what it did last year, like this move all the way down
even
was
Nvidia doesn't
around
fall 20 single day.
60%.
Even Palantir doesn't fall 20% in a single day.
I was just gonna watch Palantir because it's now having a difficult time. I think it's the first time in a while that it's below the 200 moving average since basically since the bear market here ended 2023.
Hmm.
So people who were eager to buy Palantir here, which was also a parabolic move, this is also a parabolic move. This is probably gonna cool off some bit. The price is gonna stabilize and then move higher. So I'm willing to buy more if it can drop below 140. Then I would definitely look at it as a buy. Um, so we'll see, maybe even lower if it can go all the way to 50. What do you think?
I think so. It's a good pickup right there. It's a
Okay,
good pickup.
Dimitris, I have to go. We're gonna end the stream. Um, Thanks for being here. Thanks everyone for watching. Follow us on eToro as well. Check our profiles. You can copy us. So see you next week.